I wanted to do a quick side diversion into the joystick. Right now, we render a joystick as part of the menu, but only if you're in mobile. And mobile is defined as part of utils, and it looks at all of these conditions. But I want to add one more condition, and that's if you have is mobile equal true. That will allow us to test it on our desktop. So let's jump into the utils. Jump into this function here. Actually, it's right here. Okay, is mobile. If this, and passing in this function. Okay, so return is mobile, or URL params. Let's do this. I can do URL const URL params equal new URL search params location dot search, and that's mobile if mobile is true, or URL params has is mobile, any value. So that will say that it's mobile, and then we'll render the menu. Let's go ahead and test that and see if it works. So if we enter this space with is mobile, and enter. So okay, could not read properties of undefined collect entity. Okay, so there's an error somewhere, but we have this joystick, which is cool. Okay, let's just move forward, backward, and we can already pan. Now I wanted to test what clicking here, because maybe we can actually fire a gun. Let's fix this error though. Unread properties of undefined collect entity find avatar. Okay, so it's depending on our avatar, and we should have collected something, I think is what it means. Let's see. So this is happening in the about space, and let's see, did we get something for entity collected? Let's check. Jump over here. Do we have space ID defined? And what is the state? So for entities, looks like we do have a something collected. 5053, I believe, is collected. Let's just look for event names. 5053, yep, entity collected. And so what happens inside avatar about? Avatar manager. And the about where is this? Line 20. Sorry, wrong file. Avatar manager, line 20. Okay, so I think we want to do find avatar, but our avatar is empty. Is that what it is? Undefined reading collect entity. Let's see. Scene manager, avatar manager. Avatars, no, we're not empty. We're here. So if we want avatar manager, and we did find avatar for PEGHOR we've got something there. What's the story here? Cannot read properties of undefined reading collect entity. Alright, we've tried to collect entity, collected event, payload, entity ID. What's the entity ID? It should be this. Copy that. Let's say that the entity ID is that, and let's test it locally. So, manage find, and let's call collect entity with the entity ID. What's happened there? Undefined. Let's refresh. Now at this point, do we have this already? Yeah, we are already there. So if we enter, we still get an error. Cannot read properties of undefined reading collect entity. Okay, let's break this down. So this is the avatar. Const avatar is this. Console log, the avatar is the avatar. Then we'll call that. Avatar is undefined here. How is it undefined? It's undefined. Okay, print out what the member ID is. Just give me the console log, the event. And also console log what avatars is. Okay, so avatars is here. The event. How's it? Oh, this is a member ID that's not us. What's our member ID? Scene manager. Our member ID is PE blah blah blah, which is correct. And we're asking, oh, we're saying that it belongs to somebody else. It's collected by somebody else. Okay. Yeah, that can happen. We say it's collected by somebody else, but the member doesn't exist, and therefore you can't honor it, right? You gotta put it back. In fact, we have to find this avatar, and if we don't find this avatar, we can't call collect entity. So this has to be question mark and something like that, which means In any of these cases, if you can't find this avatar, then you can't call that method on them. So in this case, the person that collected it simply left. Okay. All right, so we've got this mobile thing working. It's a detour, and I want to detect a click. Console log that out. So in the menu manager, you go to make a joystick, and I want to add. So we create an observable for the pointer down, and when the pointer is down, we're listening for pointer up, and we're also listening for pointer move. If we get a pointer up, we simply reset this. We get pointer move, and we take until pointer up. And then make register before. So this actually moves the camera around. And then we this whole thing is added in make joystick. So every time we get a pointer down, then we're subscribing to this, and then we immediately so we subscribe to this and we do unsubscribe. So we get a pointer up, and this is what's unsubscribing here, the fact that you're taking just one of it, and also this thing take until, so you're just taking it up until this. So these both clean themselves up. And this make register, this will also just take until the pointer's up, so that cleans itself up nicely. And I want to take, let's see, when we go down, I could just listen for an up. It's a container pointer down. What if we make a different one that's just on pointer pick or something? Let's see. Let container pointer pick is this make container observable left thumb container, and then we'll listen for, okay, let's see what kind of things it takes. It takes an observable name, container observable name. Okay, so a GUI container can take on pointer click, pointer down, I guess pointer click. Let's try a pointer click. On pointer click observable. Copy that. Let's add it to the other place, which is here. And let's subscribe to it. And just say hi. Clicked. Let's go down to this menu manager. What's this error? Priority undefined, you can add. Let's try this again. Okay, this is not a like vector2 with info. Perhaps we don't need to do it this way. Let's just say thumb container on pointer click observable, and we'll just add something here. And we'll just listen for a click. Does it show that error? Okay, we're good. So if I go down, drag up, okay, that gets a click. So I don't want those to be clicks. I guess we can set up a didMove variable. It's kind of a cheat, but let's say let didMove is false, and if you end up in here, then you get didMove become true. And then so if didMove is still false here, then you can console log pure click with no drag. And then we don't really need this thing. So here, that's a pure click, but if I moved a little, then that's okay. So then I could use that to emit a kind of bullet surrogate message. So right now in inline, I'm listening to keyboard, and then this is emitting trigger squeezed, and I'm listening to a local. So we can create a new message in signal hub on local. Actually, this is a trigger surrogate. How do you spell surrogate? Surrogate. Surrogate definition is some kind of substitute. Let's just say substitute then. It can be any message, don't care what it is. Substitute. And so in inline, we'll listen for spacebar, and then we can emit signal hub local emit trigger substitute, and just say true, doesn't matter. And out here, we can just say, when we receive a trigger substitute, signal hub local on trigger substitute subscribe. If we're holding a mesh, emit trigger squeezed. Now, if we've done that, then in menu manager, we can do something where if we get a pure click with no drag, then that's a surrogate for a trigger, like a tap. So signal hub, emit, or on local, emit, trigger substitute, true. Then over in inline, if we're holding a gun, then it will fire. Over here, we're not holding anything, so it can't fire anything. But let's create a gun. Okay, so let's grab that. Tap. All right. So now, interesting. I grabbed two things. Tap, tap. Okay. So scratch that itch. Now we're able to grab things in mobile and also fire that gun.